Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Rewind that. It's your girl Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. All right, guys, let me get my girl Moochie in here.
Hey y'all, what's up?
So let's see who's in the building so far. We got Damien. Hey, Damien Robinson and Patty 718. Thank you for joining us. We have 4 people. Well, I think that's us, Patty, Damien, and me and you, Moochie. And Karen. Hey, Karen. So
Hi
today
Karen.
we're going to do a recap of Force episode 3 and also Bel-Air. We're going to talk about Bel-Air after that. What I thought about talking about Bel-Air first because it came on Thursday, but then I said, you know what, people that they probably just finished watching Force and they want to talk about that now. So we might as well just get it over with, right? Not like that. So, what did you think about the episode, Moochie, before I go kind of like scene by scene or whatever?
I thought the episode was okay.
Okay.
They did leave a little hints of things if you were listening where you could pick up on stuff that will be foreshadowing for future episodes.
Mm.
And we're starting to see a rivalry between Diamond and Janard.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a good episode overall. It wasn't as
Yeah.
good as last week, but it was good.
Yeah, probably so. I don't know. I think with this episode, you saw more, like they fed you a little more of that. Like you said, you see that kind of growing beef between the brothers, and we're going to talk about that a little later. So first, we see that Tommy, he makes a deal with Liliana, and he tells her that they can work together instead of him killing her, right? So what do you think about that whole thing? And also just this reintroduction or re-entry of Liliana from Power Book 1.
Well, the re-entry of Liliana, I thought that was cool that they're going to be working together. To me, he could trust her, but to a certain extent,
Mm, okay.
because he knows. Look, everything that happened in New York, she didn't hasn't said a word. She
That's
just
true.
disappeared and went on her own. So, Tommy's big on snitching and trusting somebody, and he feels like if he's straight with her, she'll be straight with him.
Yeah. And I think with her main thing is, look, she only came after him because she didn't want to die. It's kill or be killed. And
Exactly.
she knows that, right?
Exactly.
So, other than that, she's like, look, I'm on the side of money as long as you ain't trying to kill me. And I do believe that Tommy, he's over that. Once he see that he could, look, this girl, she gonna back off and she can actually be someone like kind of like a wingman. It's almost like because he doesn't know anyone else, it's like I might as well in these streets go with the
Exactly.
person that I know, right? All
Hmm.
right. So we also see that the cop that was in this that came into the shop in the first episode, he reappears and we find out that his name is Bennigan and he actually works for the Flints. He's on payroll. Hi LSW. He's on payroll and Vic is telling him, look, we pay you to keep us out of trouble because they finding out that they're under investigation now. And Bennigan is like, it's not on me. It's an alderman issue. Hi Rashonda. So go ahead, Moochie. You want to say anything about that, or
Okay,
you
now
want to?
like it's an alderman. Like in New York, they have councilmen. In
Mm-hmm.
Chicago, their thing is different. It's alderman. So this person would be equivalent to Councilman Tate. So I'll give it
Okay.
to y'all so that way y'all get it.
Okay. All right. So now we have Tommy. He goes to see JP with some pizza, and once again, like I thought JP done accepted the money. You know what I'm saying? Like accepted the help, but now he's starting to feel like this just doesn't feel right, and it doesn't feel legal. You need to take it back. And Tommy is like, look, I'm not freaking taking it back. Why don't you just give me a number? And right here is where we find out that his brother is in some serious debt, right, Moochie?
Exactly.
So you want to say anything
Oh,
else
okay.
about that?
I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh no, go ahead.
All right, so we find out that he's in debt. He owes a lot of money. I want to know, is it loan sharks? Did he borrow money from
Mm.
the mob?
Oh
Because now
gosh.
you borrow money from the mob, it's like you forever paying them back because it's
Mm.
points and all of this and that. And if he was late, then he really owes double that. Hey,
Yes.
Nita.
Hey Nita.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's interesting because I never thought about that. And especially because one of the things that he keeps saying, I mean, tonight he said, you know, I don't first, he doesn't know what he's into, and he's like, it doesn't feel legal. And Tommy tried to tell him it's laundromats and clubs and stuff like that. But the thing is, I would almost, it didn't cross my mind because he seems so fearful of the money being illegal. But maybe, see, if it was probably loan sharks or some other type of situation, I think maybe he would be in more danger, right? Or maybe they just didn't tell us, maybe they didn't let
Well,
us know that part yet.
remember he said he's not paying for protection.
Right.
So we know it's not that. He's not paying for protection.
Mm-hmm.
So either he borrowed money to fix the place back up or pay for his dad's doctor bills. Or
Mm-hmm.
it could be just simply, look, he's trying to fix the house up. He already
Yeah.
trying to fix the restaurant back and
Yeah.
paying for his doctor bills. Maybe it's all
Mm-hmm.
of that. Because then
Yeah.
we find out here that their grandmother's nursing home bill is being paid.
It's
They're not
being paid.
responsible for it.
Right.
It's
And that's
already
another
paid off.
thing.
Put it on a trust.
Mm-hmm. So that's another thing. I don't know if that's gonna come in as something or what, but that is
It
something
is.
to pay attention to, right? So
Oh,
someone said, right, Karen made me the bill. Right, it's the bills. So I think it's the bills. And remember, the sun keeps coming through and shooting up the daggone place. So that's cause they gotta keep forgetting that. I mean, they gotta keep getting that window fixed over and over. So it's a lot. All right. So at this point, one thing that I realized from this scene was that Tommy, he now moves weight for a reason, Hey, Eric Iverson, thank you
damn.
for the super chat. Oh, I'm sorry, Eric. I didn't let you know.
I was look. I'm
Moochie's
getting
my.
to it now.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Because
making my rounds, but I'm
yeah,
talking to. I'm trying, yo.
Moochie, she's helping me out because in the meantime I'm getting ready for the live, trying to get my notes, trying to get everything. So I apologize, guys. All right, but I did put up the schedule and everything. So all right, yes, please hit that like button. So I was saying that now Tommy, he doesn't move weight just to move, just to be in the game. That's what he does, and that's pretty much about who he is. But it's like now that he has a brother, he's been doing this with a purpose, for a purpose to be there for his brother and help him out, right? So
Right.
I kind of like that whole thing. Let me see. So we also have now Diamond and Jannard, they go to the baseball field, right? And they're gonna swing a few. He's gonna, they're gonna. Diamond is gonna pitch. I mean, Jannard's gonna pitch, and Diamond is gonna swing the ball, right? Swing the bat, swing the ball. All right. So we see here that they continue to freaking bump heads. Diamond wants to know. I'm sorry, Jannard. He wants to know what the heck is up with this white boy, and the old D. He would have got rid of this dude already. This goofy dude, right? And I don't know where he get Tommy being goofy from, but go ahead,
Thank
Moochie.
you. He's calling him goofy. He don't even know the half, yo.
Not.
Everybody's so focused on his ear, like the internet. But I believe they did that for the part that he's playing. His ear is really not like that, y'all. In case y'all
Oh,
want to
it's
know.
not. Yeah, and we're gonna and
No.
thank you. And we're gonna talk about please keep.
I think I'll throw that out there.
Yes, please keep that in
FYI.
mind because we gotta talk about that. All right, because there's a scene coming up. All right, now we're not gonna talk about that yet, but Diamond, he wants to do things the clean way, as we always say, right? I mean, as we see, he wants to do it the clean way. He's not the same, this and that. Hey, support gaming, he's not the same. All right. He wants to do some type of community outreach, legit wise, but his brother is looking at it like, oh, we could use this as, a way to clean money and all of this stuff, right? And so, like I said, they just keep on bumping heads. And then Jannard tells him that he may have given him the seat, but I'm the one that made us relevant. And I definitely disagree with that because remember, Diamond, the way they telling the story, Diamond was already that dude. So before he went inside. So for his little brother, I'm starting to not like him. For his little brother to come out and say something like that, it just really goes to show how entitled the younger generation is these days. Do you want to say anything else about that?
I feel like he laid the ground foundation, Diamond, for the CBIs.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name of it, right?
Yeah.
he laid the foundation. And so if he laid the foundation and then got hit with a 15-year bid, everything was all solid. You already had your soldiers. He came into a fitted position and took over because that was your older brother.
Right.
And people basically rocked off the strength of your brother.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really you that earned it.
Right. And now he got these little ninjas, and
Mm-hmm.
they don't know, and that's how it is
So
now.
they like that now. They don't know their
Exact-
history with stuff.
Thank you. That's what I'm gonna say. They're like that nowadays. They don't care about the OGs. They don't, they don't have no kind of respect in that area. So, like I said, we see them continuing to bump heads, and I almost lost my thought. So now my thing is, if Rojas's crew, because he's making commands from inside, and if he can do that from in prison, what the heck would make Jannard think that all of a sudden they like some type of partners and nothing goes down without him and all of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, where do you figure you have that kind of right? You're supposed to hold it down for your brother while he's gone, and when he comes back, his spot is still his. Because it never wasn't his. You know what I'm saying?
We kind of see this sort of mirroring the situation with Monet and Lorenzo.
Right.
She held it down for 10 years and she don't want to relinquish that power now.
Yes,
she
that's
doesn't
true.
want to relinquish it, and neither does Jannard.
Mm-hmm.
Look, he got the little G's looking up to him where he like, man, this is too good. I'm in charge.
Right. And I thought about that too with the whole thing. You can kind of see the comparison between Monet and Lorenzo as well. But on the flip side of that is that Lorenzo was trying to pull Monet completely out the game and make her into like a housewife. So it's a very similar, but it's still a little bit different. Hey, pretty girl.
Hey,
how you doing?
Yeah.
Yes, Jannard is definitely going to be trouble. That's for sure. I'm going to look at a few comments before we move on.
Okay.
So we got, yes, Jannard is trouble. Let's see what Reggie has to say. How you doing, Reggie? I like the young versus old dynamics they're doing with the Flynns and Diamonds and his bro. I think that's what
but
I like that too. And I'm on the side of the OGs, in case you guys don't know. Eric Iverson's, I like how they gave Jannard that cauliflower ear. I bought a lot of fighters get that. Oh, I'm sorry. I said I bought. I boxed. I'm sorry, guys. I boxed, and a lot of fighters get that in real life from getting hit a lot. That's what me and Moochie were talking about as well. Hi, Samara. How are you?
Yeah.
I didn't know y'all was going live. Oh, I'm sorry.
We didn't know either. It was like a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah, it was I mean, it was planned earlier around like what, 6ish, 7ish.
Yeah.
And then I put it up at like 9. I put it on the schedule at 9. So I'm sorry. All right. So next we got Tommy. He has a plan to bring the North and the South Side together because Liliana is schooling him on how things are done in Chicago, where there's segregation going on, and they don't want to work, especially Walter Flynn. He don't want to work with no black folks, right? So then he goes to meet with Walter, regardless of what Liliana is saying. Hi, Ray Negron. Thank you so much. He says new subscriber here. I appreciate you.
Hey.
And so hey, Lil Rock. All right, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna shout you guys out, read your comments, but I'm gonna get through this. I'm sorry. So it says right, he goes and he meets with Walter, and he propositions him and let him know, look, I got that coke, and Walter's saying, that's not what I do, and then he says I'm listening, right? Walter says, I'm listening, and the next scene is when we see him and Vic. So he sends Vic and Tommy off to do a deal with this guy named Colin. Go ahead, Moochie.
Okay, so when Colin is all spaced out anyway and high, playing that techno music.
Seriously, I was like, what in the world?
Yeah, he's going
like, turn it down. It was like, Colin, turn it down. Colin.
And then she's like, I feel my heart racing.
Yeah. Call the cops.
I need to call the cops.
Yo, that thing went left, didn't it?
Oh, I was like, what the heck?
went
Even Tommy
left.
was like, "Nah, this is not good."
Right. It went so left. And honestly, look, I'm glad that they let old Tony live because Colin, he did that to himself. All right.
Yo, he
And
was all hyped
Tony
up
threw him
on
under
that.
the bus. Tony threw him under the bus though. He was like, yeah, the freight can carry about 2,000 pounds or something like that. Because remember, they was like, oh, we can't haul out a body. You know what I'm saying?
He's like, yes, we can.
Tony was like, that freight could take about 2,000 pounds. I don't know what you're talking about.
It'll go right down to the alley where you don't see nothing.
He's like, look, I'm tired of working for this jerk off anyway, you know?
You know it. So, imagine the stuff he had to deal with if he was like that hopped up now.
Right. He's like, I almost died a few times messing with this man. I got 4 kids. Did he say he had 4 kids?
Yeah, he said he had 4 kids. He sound like the dude from what's the thing? Total Recall. I got 5 kids.
Yo, so with this scene, and because of this scene, you know, Vic had to murk him. And when Walter finds out that the deal didn't work out, he's like, we'll call Colin again and we'll see what happens. And they like, he ain't gonna pick up, you know? And that's when Walter says, okay, then get CBI to come to the table. So now we're getting somewhere. This is the part that I feel like I liked this episode because I wanted to see them come together. But then when they freaking do come together, it's not the best thing. So anyway, now we see this part where we're going to talk about this ear situation, but hold on, pump your brakes, because Tommy goes to the gym, the boxing ring, and he talks to Diamond, right? And he tells him, look, Walter Flynn wants to meet with you. At first, Diamond is like, look, I don't work for no white boys. I don't do that, this and that. And of course, Jannard is over there like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But then when Tommy tells him that Walter Flynn is willing to sit down and willing to do something, Diamond is all ears, right? But then you get Jannard over there like, what are you doing? And he's
listening to him.
Yeah, and he's basing up again. We saw him lose his temper with Diamond at the baseball field. He threw the ball at him, and now he's pushing on him. So now he's saying, let's do this thing. Let's fight. Go ahead, Moochie. He said, fight for your position.
Okay, so now they down to fight. But Diamond's style is just a straight up boxer.
Right.
Jannard is the updated version. To me, he's like how you say the hybrid version, but he don't got it all here in his head yet because he still got the young stuff behind him. So he's doing that MMA stuff.
MMA, yep.
Yeah,
that's
but
why he got that
start out with that. But he's doing the MMA stuff, and he is gonna. It looks like he's trying to get him down to the ground where he probably could grapple and all of that. But look, I like my MMA stuff. Like, he gave him one of them good kicks.
Yeah.
They're gonna tell him what nerve he had.
Hey Tamika. Hey Erica.
But to me, it was a good fight. He's saying I'm gonna run ahead a little bit, but it's for the scene.
Go ahead.
He's saying that he tells
Elijah
that he basically gave up the fight, let him win. And to me, it didn't look like that to me. It looked like he got his ass whipped and he was down for the count. He wasn't knocked out, but he knocked the wind out of him and put him out of commission for a little bit.
And you know, I didn't like that part where. So first of all, let me go back before we get into that, because when he said, "Let them legs fly." Remember when Elijah said to Tommy, "Let them legs fly, let them legs fly," and Tommy was like, "What you talking about?" Well, it's like, "What you mean, let them legs fly?" Right?
And we saw it was
right. And then he freaking kicked him. I said, "Oh no, he been training for a different thing." Right. And his brother doesn't know that. And my thing is, why not? What have you been planning that your brother doesn't even know that you're an MMA fighter or kickboxing or whatever it is? You know what I'm saying? Why don't your brother know? Have you been planning to, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of, I'm going to save this in case this dude come home and try to, you know, get back in the spot or whatever. And he, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But listen, when he goes back and they meet up and Elijah says, yeah, you let him have it or whatever. I was like, oh, I don't like that because I was feeling satisfied that Diamond beat him. But for them to say, you let him have that, I wasn't feeling that at all.
Patty has a good comment. Can you highlight that, please?
Sure.
She said, yeah, right.
Right.
Diamonds looked like he thought he was back in the pen. He had to regroup and realize that was his brother. I agree with you, because he looked like he was going to really take him out.
Yep.
And he remember, he finished him and knocked him unconscious, but he backed off.
And you know what? While I was watching them fight, I said, yeah, get him. I said, you put Rojas in the wheelchair. Show him who he messing with.
Like, he don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to
Show him who he messing with. He could have killed Rojas with his bare hands, probably. Okay, stop. High plays for keeps. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? So,
Diamond has no idea about his brother playing dirty.
Jannard hit a nerve that tells the body to give out. We learned this in combatives at boot camp. Right, exactly. That's why he was feeling woozy and stuff, but he didn't though. That says a lot about what's his name, stamina, I guess, right?
Well, what did they say? Fight or flee?
Or him giving up, and him just probably giving up. Like he's probably like, nah, I don't do that. My mind don't work like that. I think there might have been something else I wanted to say, but
did you see anybody else's comments? Because before we move on to the next topic.
No, I don't think so. I don't look like.
Okay, Reggie said he lied. He got beat.
Oh, yes. Before we move on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Before we move on, that scene with Elijah and Jannard, when they talk about, this is going to create a rift between, the CBI crew. Some people are going to go with Diamond and some people are going to go with Jannard. And Jannard is like, yeah, that's how it's going to go. But at the end of it all, they all going to come to my side. You see what I'm talking about? Why this little ninja is a problem?
Look,
he's getting on my nerves.
He's not going to get what he wants.
No, he's getting on my nerves already. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for you. When it's time for you to go, I think I'm going to be happy. I'm sorry.
I got a question, y'all. Do y'all think that Jannard is going to be in charge of the CBIs, or do you think Diamond's going to be able to hold his own? Put a 1 up for Diamond, 2 for Jannard.
Right, a 1 for Diamond, 2 for Jannard. All right. We're gonna see. Listen, it's going to create some serious conflict. All right, serious conflict. And then with that whole Tommy's nephew in the mix, even more drama.
All I see is ones.
Ones. Who's that for? Diamond?
Yeah, that's for Diamond. Everybody's saying Diamond.
I've been wanting Diamond to turn up. Let me tell you guys something first. I admire him trying to come out and do the right thing. I like that storyline because that's something I don't feel like we really, really see in power like that, where somebody is really trying to do the right thing. Like, seriously. But unfortunately, because of the brother that he has and because these streets, he's still dibbling, dabbling. You know what I'm saying? But I know he's going to have to turn up at some point. And he got that survivalist mentality. So that's going to show up one of these episodes. And I'm here for
it. Everybody's saying 1. Eric Iverson said, I think Diamond will leave CBI and join Tommy. I couldn't agree with you anymore. I agree with you on that.
And they're just going to have, what, a 2-man, 3-man army?
It's not even going to be like that. I'm telling you, he getting reinforcements, y'all. Trust and believe. Remember I said this
they all about to team up. We're going to talk because we got Claudia coming at him. We got Vic and him don't look like they got no beef.
Vic don't got no beef. Vic he wanted to go with this plan.
He did,
and work with Diamond.
And that's what we're gonna talk about. So it's when Walter finds out that the deal didn't work out. I told you that he told him to go meet up with Diamond. So now we know that the meeting with Diamond and the Flynns, with Diamond and the Flynns, it doesn't go as Tommy planned, because when Diamond gets in there, Walter's rehashing. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about, oh, you did this and you did that. And Diamond is like, that wasn't even us. Paulie said that his wife's face got all messed up and everything. And so like I said, he's revisiting the past, plus he had some racial slurs going on. So you want to say something about that, Moochie?
Okay, with that whole part, he said it wasn't them. He said he didn't retaliate because he didn't want to lose any more men.
Right.
And it just went left because Walter Flanagan Walter Flynn, wanted to go back in the way back machine and bring up stuff that happened in 85.
Yeah.
He wanted to visit the way back machine, and they trying to do business now.
Yes, he wanted to go back into time, honey.
Anywho, what up, Big Kev?
Hold on, y'all. You know how
Pretty Girl says, I'm confused with Diamond. Seems like he's trying to sell drugs, but in a MLK non-violent way.
Right.
Oh, shoot. Reggie says, would they have a brother kill a brother, or are they comparing them to each other brother relationships? I could see that, yes.
I don't see Diamond killing his brother.
I don't see that either.
Yeah.
But I could see Jannard trying to kill Diamond, and then he have to do it because he have no choice.
Yeah, Jannard is showing too much of, like, when he first came out of jail, when Diamond first came out of prison, I saw something in them that I felt like, oh, this is a brotherly love, this is a loving relationship, this and that. And he seemed like he's welcoming him back into, his position and everything. It seemed okay. And then you get to last week and he starts showing his true colors, because he's now, I'm getting tired of you telling me how stuff is going. I'm telling you how it works now. And he's like, you're pushing. You saw how when the boys came in, and last week's episode, when the boys came in and they was holding the guns on Tommy, and he saw the fact that he had the boys like in check, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that could have been something that may have pushed him more to act the way he's acting now. Like, yeah, I could really take over this, because these kids, they're not trying to hear what Diamond got to say. They looking at me.
Yeah, right? Well, he got a big head at that moment. I agree.
Yeah.
But I feel like this, when he got out of jail and he bought the barbershop for him, he figured that his brother was just going to fall back and cut hair and let Jannard run the business. But then with Tommy in the mix, it just threw a monkey wrench in all his plans, because how Tommy took the drugs and then came back and bought them. It just showed, look, he's ready, but he's not ready. You get what I'm saying when I say that?
Mm-hmm. So you think that Jannard is ready? That's what you're talking about, right? Oh, you talking about Diamond?
Ready to run. I mean, look, first of all, he's not ready to run the business, because you got these young shooters which have a short lifespan. We see this happening. If we're gonna go like a real life aspect, yeah. What's the life expectation of these young boys? Not that much, and they trying to make it a point because they pulling guns. They don't fight no more. It's just different. They just on a different level,
right?
So he's like, I don't want that near me. Remember, he said, I don't want that near me. I don't want any parts of that. Mm-hmm. And he's explaining that right.
Yes. Okay, we have a super chat. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you. So, question, ladies, are races segregated in NYC like in Chicago? Not really. Hold on. Because out here in Cali, the Mexicans and blacks are separated also. Wow. Not really. Like, New York is known as the melting pot, and we mix with a lot. I mean, they got their racist areas, with the Italians and whatever, but they're really cornered off. So we got our areas. Don't get it wrong, but go ahead, Moochie. You want to say something? I know in Howard Beach, they was like that in the 90s.
New York is different with the boroughs. So yeah, I'll back in the day, no, it wasn't separated like that. Back in the day, they had the Dominicans working with the blacks. Mm-hmm. The Jamaicans had their own posse. They was working, but they wasn't really working with American dudes. The Haitians had their little own thing going, but they do commingle sometimes with certain things. But nowadays, it's different now because they done do the. I'll say this because I'm going by how it used to be back in the days. In the 90s, Crips and Bloods wasn't out here like that. They didn't come till the late 90s, 2000s. They had gangs. They had like the Decepticons and stuff like that. the Lost
Right.
Boys, different things. But it's different. They had crews.
So
They didn't have gangs.
so
I
your
just
answer is
I
for the because I gave a general answer with people. Your answer is with gangs and drug organizations.
yeah.
That's your
I
answer.
with different things. They okay. The Italians didn't mingle with the black people like
Right.
that. They co-mingled towards like now that they like towards the end, like after Gotti and them got caught, they was co-mingling and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because New York is, like I said, if you're talking about generally, we don't have it like that. It's, because everybody is getting is getting money. You got Chinese people
Yeah,
over
money
here,
and then
Indians. You
now
got
you got
everybody,
that too now.
and they know that if you want to make money, you can't be trying to shut the blacks out. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got yourself a corner store.
It's different. The Asian people they do their thing on their own. They always have wherever they go. Y'all know that.
Yeah, of course. All right. Pretty Girl says NYC is an equal opportunity drug dealing city. The original Power illustrated that there is still
Exactly.
racism, but they are more open minded. Exactly right.
There you go.
It's not like that.
They all looked at the bigger picture, which is money.
Mm-hmm. And that's how it is with people. That's like my whole point. You know what I'm saying? With the businesses, even at the end of the day, it's money. And even if they do harbor those kind of feelings, they're not gonna. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna show you that unless something pops off. Like you come up in their store and you start some trouble or something like that, they might show you how much they don't like N words.
Patty 718 says Jannar is jealous of Big Bro now. I think it is because he didn't have
Where is it?
a great get the pat on his back from Diamond that he really wanted. He's trying very hard to prove that he held it down and he wanted his respect. I feel like he gave him his respect, but he wanted to be like, I think he just wanted Diamond to fall back and cut here. Look, I got you this shop, so now you don't even gotta be out here doing all of that. Because that's what he said from the beginning. Like, look, he wanted him to fall back and cut here, and I got this, Big Bro.
But I think he may have wanted to do that, but he knew that Diamond came out to still run CBI. Diamond, and that's what Pretty Girl was right. Like Diamond it is kind of confusing. He still wants to run CBI, but he doesn't. He wants to do it in a different way. So it is kind of confusing. So it seems like they agree that yeah, I'm still the head of this thing, but then his brother's trying to tell him like it's different now, we don't do things like this and that anymore. So I don't know, it's just I just feel like this kid he's starting to get out of hand, and we see unfortunately that Diamond he don't have no real loyalty, because as where were all his day ones, you know what I'm saying, like they all gone or something. Only person that
Oh,
he really got to
Diamond?
fall yeah only person that he really got to fall back on is his brother, who he can't really trust right now.
Well, he said that a lot of them are in jail or dead.
Right. So that's when so he really has no one. So I'm glad that him and Tommy are starting to, you know what I'm saying? They see each other more. He seems more open to Tommy. And he's even thinking too, like, remember, he is the one who saved your life. What am I'm supposed to just get rid of him?
Right.
And Jannard's like, he doesn't even care. So we get more of the law, because after this guy Walter, he's doing all his racial slurs. I don't understand the point of him even trying to meet up with Diamond. It was so stupid. And what's his name was so annoyed. Vic, like, what are you doing? Remember in the previous scene with Claudia, Vic, and Walter, Claudia let them know, look, product is down 12% or whatever she said. Did she say revenue or product? I don't know.
She
But
said
basically it's down 12%.
they making
Okay.
less money.
Yes, they're making less money. So we need to do some different things. All right. And so this is an opportunity that Walt, he just screwed up. And I could see that one thing I'm gonna say is that if Walter dies and Vic takes over, he is going to he's going to close that line of that gap of segregation, and that is going to put him in a lot of freaking trouble with Ireland, the Irish mob.
Oh
It's going
yeah,
to get him in a
definitely.
lot of trouble, because they don't want none of that mixing and mingling stuff.
Yeah.
And this is what Walter wants to keep it the way he wants to keep it. All right. But you already see the type of page that Vic is on. He's not like his father. Okay. So, what else we got? So we got these detectives. We got some new law enforcement. They're watching Tommy and they're watching Diamond. And I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. Because we haven't felt no police presence like that in this thing. The only thing we saw was Bennigan in that, in the first episode, and then this one.
And the
Hey,
lady
Montana
talking
Max.
at the beginning with the
Eric Iverson, Tommy asks why you diss Diamond. Walter talking about this is history. Right. What are we doing? So you just want to, what? It didn't make any sense because it's like, you wanted to bring the guy there for what? You took out, how many men he said? 19 of his men? And
yes.
he did not retaliate. So why are you so mad still? And why did you have a meeting with this guy?
It seemed like he did that to push his buttons. He
Right.
wanted to push Diamond's buttons to me.
Mm-hmm. Walter had no intention of working with CBI. He told Vic if the Italians, Greek, etc. find out, they would be outcasted. Right. So Walter, he's looking like he might have. Remember, I was trying to figure out in my last video what kind of cancer that he has. I think it might be lung cancer because he keeps on coughing up the daggone storm. Mm-hmm. So then we get to I'm going to say this is not the last scene, but this is it because we're already at 36:53 and we need to move on to talk about Bel-Air. So Claudia, she rolls up on Tommy like an OG. This is his words, right? You rolling up on me like an OG. And Tommy is telling her, look, whatever position that your father has you playing, it's the wrong one. And I feel like upon hearing these words, she's like, yeah, I like this guy because he sees, you know what I'm saying?
That was music to her ears.
Yes.
Him saying like, you in the wrong spot. You need to be really in the business.
Mm-hmm. Right. How come you not in this? Right. And so she's like, what do you really want out of being here in Chicago? And he's like, I want all the money. I want all the bread. And she's like, okay, then, let's work together. And so he's just making all kinds of connections. And I'm really here for it. But I know there's going to be some blowback. Like, this is going to be. It's so funny because it's like he's bringing people on. He's like the nucleus in a way, and they don't even realize it like that, right? And then what happens when they find out that they're all kind of still in connection with each other?
I feel like this is something that he learned from working with So Close to Ghost. But I know a lot of people think he's not as smart as Ghost.
Right.
But come on, he's been rocking with him for what, over 30 years? He knows some of his movements.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows how to do some things, even though Tommy most of the time was the muscle and the dude that was working with the drugs. He knows different things they pulled off to make things work because Tommy and Ghost, when they were together, was working with all ethnicities.
Right.
And only, like, remember when they had the Serbs, Ghost never saw the Serbs. Tommy dealt with all of that until Milan came.
Mm-hmm. And another point that I'm going to piggyback off of you is that in this place in Chicago, he has a fresh start and no distraction. So he has nothing but time to really think and use his brain,
Exactly.
And so I do like that part of it all. And I'm definitely here for it. And, once again, he has no ghost to piss him off. Ghost pissed him off a lot. He has no love interest or anything. So let's see. Thank you once again, Eric. You always blessing me. I really appreciate you. So this may be an unpopular opinion, but I feel Tommy and Liliana will not only hook up, but is the perfect woman for him relationship-wise. Listen, when she came out with that little thing, I said, okay, girl. And he's talking about, I'm sorry, you don't do it for me. And she like, I don't do white boys. But they both might be pretty pleasantly surprised. You never freaking know. And speaking of love interest, the last scene is with what's her name? Glow. She comes to Tommy's place. So before I give my opinion, Moochie, what do you think about that whole situation? And he starts screwing her up against the window and all that. But go ahead.
That was for the men's.
Yeah.
That was for the men.
Right. And
No, but I with her, I'm still trying to figure her out because you saying you want to be with you're saying you want him to do something. I mean, in Vic, like you want him to do something to pull them out of this situation, but now you're pursuing Tommy because now you're going to where he is. So right now, Tommy's just having fun. He's not gonna fall in love yet. He's still mourning, and that's just the way of him getting his mind off of Lakeisha. That's my opinion.
Right, because at nighttime is when he's probably most haunted and most lonely, right?
Exactly.
He's out in the street in the daytime and he's doing his thing, but when he gets at night, he's probably really, that's when everything hits him. And so she's like, hey, you want company? And he's like, yeah. So I'm over here thinking like, wait a minute, why? Because I'm always thinking when it comes to these writers and what is their point, why did you make that the last scene? Why is that the last thing that you want to be in our heads before we get to next week? And the only thing that I was thinking about, well, maybe it's not a good idea that Glow knows where Tommy lives.
Yeah,
you know? Because I'm like, why did y'all have that as the last scene? So now I'm not sure, because like you said, you trying to fill her out. I'm trying to fill her out too. Why he couldn't come to you?
Because maybe like she ain't changed her locks yet.
That's true. What did they do the last time though?
But she ain't changed her locks yet. The first time they did it was at her place.
Right. So what's the difference?
Now Vic knows
exactly. And now Vic knows about it, and he claims he just wants her to be happy.
Come back unless she changed the locks. If she changed the locks, he claims then Tommy's coming back over.
He claims to want her to just be happy. You saw him. He got a tombstone for the mom and all that stuff. So it's kind of like, then why can't you have the guy over at your house? And then why did you have him there in the first place when you knew that Vic had a key? So that's what I'm saying. Why are you over at Tommy's house? I just don't trust it.
I don't trust it. I feel like it's going to be a problem. I feel like it's going to be a problem with them too. But I do feel like she was like his warm bottle of milk so he could go to sleep tonight.
Oh, Patty, this is good. Look, Gloria see Tommy in the game now, so she's gonna use that to her advantage. Exactly. Hope Vic didn't see that setup, and see, that's the thing, because once she found out that he was in the game, now you want company. Now you want to know where this guy lives.
She already gave up the penny.
She's trying to play, honey. She's in this game some way.
Like, I'll get myself into this, I'll get myself out of it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, she's trying to play, honey. So that's pretty much all. You have any last remarks for Force?
My last remark about this topic: she sees that Tommy don't care who he want to be with, who he want to be with, and he don't care who he offends and what people think. And I think that's why she's so attracted to that. He doesn't have, well, I got to worry about what my family's going to say.
Right. Okay. True. Because what's his name? He can't be with a black woman.
Right.
Yeah. So unbelievable. Oh, thank you, Kellen Landry. I appreciate it. So guys, we are finished with Force, Power Book 4. And we're going to jump over and talk about Bel-Air, season 1, episode number 4. So I hope you guys stay for the ride. We are trying to wrap this up at least in another 15-20 minutes, but we don't know. Not trying to be here for too long. So here we go, guys. Last week, what happened? We found out some kid came to Rashad and he's like, we know where this kid is, right? So now Rashad knows exactly where Will is, right? And so what was your thought when you see Will right now? He's outside of the school and he's talking to Lisa and everything, and then we get this guy watching him. What was your thought?
At first, I thought it was somebody that the other crew, that the kid from Philly sent, but I was like, nah, he can't be that connected.
Listen,
first I thought it was the watch. I thought that was what's the guy's name? That
Rashad.
Rashad. I thought that was somebody that he knows, like, I know somebody in Cali that can come to that area. I thought it was that at first, and I was fooled.
So for me, I said, is this Rashad already? And then, I'm looking, I say, is this him without a hat? But, head look a little different. And then I said, well, maybe it's someone that he did send, but not from out, not from out in LA. Like, I didn't feel he had connections like that. I felt like it was somebody that he sent and he flew out there. And you know what I'm saying? So thank you, Montana Max. He said, I think Force is born, but Fresh Prince is cool. Oh.
All right, give it some time, boo.
Yeah, thank you so much for that super
Come
chat.
on, stick with us, Montana Max. Give it some time. We like you in the comments.
Yes. Stick with us. So, like I said, he's talking to Lisa, and this is where he finds out that her mom passed away. And then when he gets home and he gets a call from Trey, and Trey is telling him, hey, Brilla, Trey is telling him, yo, I got some bad news. Rashad knows where you are. So now Will is like scared out of his freaking mind. Okay, right, Moochie?
Mm-hmm.
So
he's scared out of his mind.
Go ahead.
Okay. Mm-hmm. He's scared out of his mind. What's up, Brillo? He's scared out of his mind. And now he wants to go and talk to his Uncle Phil. But that ain't the right dude to go to. He's going to go to the person that manages the house.
Is that right?
And that's Jeffrey. What go on, he said.
Oh, yes. Wagwan. So when he goes and talks to Jeffrey, he's like, do you know about, why I'm out here and this and that? He's like, yes, I'm bad man from Philly or whatever, right? So listen, when he turned around and said this man's full name, I was like, I told y'all in my first recap of episode 1, I said it plain. I said, guys, I like what they did with Jeffrey. Jeffrey is a G. It was his whole demeanor for me. I can see it. I didn't know exactly what we were going to get, but I knew we was dealing with a G. All right. So he lets him know, look, don't worry about it. And then he's like, how are you? Will says, how are you going to handle it? So Jeffrey is like, just calm down. Don't worry. I got this. Right. And Will is still concerned, right, Moochie?
Yep.
He's still concerned because I think I would be too. Like, I don't even know you. I know nothing about you. I don't know how bad you are. He's probably not even thinking about how bad this guy is. We're not going to go into that yet, but. Look, did you want to say something before we move?
I don't know if y'all know Jeffrey is gangster. You don't know what he was doing for Uncle Phil, what kind of bones he got in his closet, skeletons, skulls, and all of that type of stuff. Yeah. So he's gangster, he's Jamaican. I'm loving the dude.
Yes, serious. So we have this scene here where, Uncle Phil, he gathered the family around. He told them what they were going to do. Will and Carl, you're going to knock on some doors. And he told Hillary and Ashley to hit the streets. You're going to hit up some stores and everything. And then what's her name here? I'm sorry, Viv. She makes a comment saying, yeah, we're going to go at the church or something like that. And hopefully they don't show up. And this kind of offended Phil. So he's saying, listen, you don't have to say everything that's on your mind. And she was a little, upset by him saying that. But he had to remind her, look, when I was there for you with the paint and stuff, you told me to stop talking about like things, like don't insert yourself in my stuff. This is my lane, So she had to understand where he was coming from. And so you want to say something about that?
Well, with this part, I feel like he told her she has to basically hold her tongue with a lot of things.
Yeah.
And she feels like she already compromised her life for him because she put painting on the back burner, being an artist.
Right.
So she's just a teacher now.
Mm-hmm.
And she put that part of her life on the back burner. And she feels like, I compromised all of this for you.
Mm-hmm.
So what more do I need to do? I need to change. I need to change myself where I'm not as outspoken as I normally would be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I like it. I like their relationship. It seems like they both have been. I don't really know why I think the reason why she stopped painting is because they had children. She won't really say why, because when they were arguing when her and Hillary were arguing at the basketball game in the last episode, she asked her, why did you stop? And before she was able to answer Viv, Phil was like, Will is in the game. He's in the game. So it kind of stopped that. So we don't necessarily know exactly why she stopped, because he was supportive of her. He was there all the time.
Well, no,
and
she did explain why she stopped.
And she even told him,
like that.
Hold on. She even told her friend that he was there for me during my time. So I'm trying to be there for him. And you got to also remember that this is a campaign, so it is pretty temporary. But yeah. So Pretty Girl says that there's some resentment in their marriage. I hope
agree.
not.
I agree to some point, because
I feel like it's from her, if anything.
Yeah, it is from her, because I feel like she it wasn't that, how can I say it? She stopped painting once she had the kids, and then she had to become a mom, and then I think once they got a little older, then she started doing the teaching and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that's where some of the resentment comes, because she feels like she changed herself. She conformed to him for his career.
Right. Yes. So.
Oh, can you highlight Tamika Den's comment, please?
Oh, sure.
She said, "Man." Jeffrey said his full name.
Yes.
And I said, "Don't worry." It said, "Don't worry about it. I got it handled." Oh, so you were screaming at the TV? No, when you get good, when you scream at the TV with certain parts.
Yeah, I screamed at the end, guys. Not I didn't scream at the end, but I was mad excited, and I started.
Like, at the end, listen, yes, that's how I was.
I started to do the whole ox from freaking Belly. You wanna rump with me? You know, all of this, and so I was like, "Yo, this guy
is the number one dandana."
Yes, this guy is serious. I'm gonna kill people for fun.
You wanna rump with me?
So now we have Will and this kid Carlton. They're out and they're going door to door, and this guy is so cocky, Carlton. He's like, just follow my lead, because Will has never done anything like this before, and it's not going well. They're slamming the door on this kid. All right, so they're not just slamming the door on, obviously not just him, but they're slamming the door on Will too. And so Will is saying, look, it's not working, and obviously Carlton knows his strategy is not working either. So I obviously I need you to get through to these people. So what did he say after he said that?
That's where you messing up right there, calling them these people.
Exactly. You gotta stop calling them these people. Like, this kid is seriously an Oreo. Like, what do you mean these people? So he's like, all right, you go on one side, I'm gonna go on the other side. And we see Will is out here doing his thing. And yes, Patty Carlton gets on my nerves too. You want to say something about this?
Okay, with this part, why Carlton gonna tell Will, "Oh, you're slandering the other candidate. That's why you're winning."
Oh wait, not yet.
I'm sorry,
not yet. That's coming. So let's move on to this.
Okay, I didn't know you. I thought you was gonna take that one part in the whole.
Oh no, I'm sorry. So so this scene, I like this scene because we have Carlton. I'm sorry, not Carlton. We got Jazz and Hillary meeting up, and they're talking. And honey, I had to remind myself, like, yo, this is a change from how the original Hillary and Jazz got along. Remember, he was, all lusting for her and obsessed and all that, and she's like, "Oh, get away from me," stuff. And I like how they're just like vibing here.
Mm-hmm.
You want to say something about that?
I like the fact that he has a record store. He's a jack of all trades, doing that in the Uber. So we see that he's a go-getter and a hustler, but he's not with the social media. And she puts him on where his business is gonna get better. So I like this whole little scene with this and the record store and the artists coming in and things of that nature.
Yeah. And meanwhile, This little girl is on a
Oh.
mission, okay? She's like, I'm gonna go to the other store, but instead she goes to what, East LA or something like that, or South Central.
Yes, that's
And
what she
she
was.
meets up with her friends. So she puts some little lip gloss on. So I'm like, okay, is she going to see somebody she like, honey? Okay. Hey, Jania. So he's like, wait, did she? Yeah. So she went over to, these little gamers, and she's like, oh, is Lucia here? And I said, excuse me, excuse me. And she's looking a little disappointed that Lucia is not here. So I said, oh snap. We're gonna move past that. But did you catch anything in that moment, Moochie, when she asked for Lucia?
Is she into girls? I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But I think she was kind of nervous with the guy putting his arm around her.
Right.
I think this was a very bad move for her leaving and going over there like that without telling nobody, though.
Absolutely.
That was crazy.
And so here we go. We got the original Dundada over here, and we find out that the guy that was watching Will is basically security detail, and he works for, I don't want to say he works for Jeffrey, because he's also on the payroll. The way they were talking in the conversation is that this guy's also on payroll, on Phil's, so he works for Phil as well. But Jeffrey is in command here, obviously, and he's like, we paid Rashad $10,000 to leave this kid alone. And he's saying, look, reach out to our guys in Philly, our associates in Philadelphia, and and then the other guy is like, well, how much are you trying to pay? Because we hear that Rashad found out that, this guy, they're dealing with some wealthy folks, so he wants more money. Mm-hmm. And the guy says, so how much are we going to pay him? And, or how much does he want? And he said, I didn't ask. He's like, I don't intend on paying him. So you want to say something?
He's not doing that. He not getting no more.
Right.
And this is going to be handled.
Yes, we do not intend to pay him. So I was like, oh my gosh. And then the fact that he said, reach out to our associates in Philly. It's just like, yo, this thing is way deeper and way bigger than we thought.
Mm-hmm.
So now this is the scene that you were talking about, where we see that Will is not being successful with, getting all the signatures and stuff like that. And that's because he's pretty much telling the people what they want to hear, siding with them and this and that. But Carlton, he's not happy about that. Like, he's saying, you want to talk about certain unfairnesses, but then, you kind of want to, basically do it to but you're still winning, basically, right?
Because you play it to your advantage.
Yes, you make it to, right. It's to your advantage. So he's trying to call Will out, but you want to take it away from here?
He wants to call him out, but he don't. To me, how you gonna talk down to people and you expect to get their vote? Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm telling the people what they want to hear, and I'm also listening to the people too.
Right. And he's telling him, like, I can represent these people better than you because every hood is the same, and you have to let them know what, you need to give them some kind of hope, because this dude right here, he just don't know. But the thing that happens here is they start arguing, because he's like, Will, I knew that when you came here, it wasn't for the reason, it wasn't for a better education. So why did you really come here? And that's when Will is like, screw you. Like, he basically, I don't got an answer to you. And they have a whole argument. And remember, they had made a bet. Carlton, he wants to go to the Grand Prix, some type of race thing. And then Will, he made a bet with Aunt Viv, and he wants Trey to come out. And this is all depending on if they get along. If they get along, then this is what we're going to do, right?
If they get along and get a certain amount of voters signed up, mm-hmm. then that's when they get what they want out of the deal.
Right. Oh, so yeah, that's the thing. For Will, his is as simple as if we get along. But the deal that Carlton has with Uncle Phil is you need to get 50 voters and get along. So his is a little more challenging, right? But with Will doing everything, it's helping, So now we have Jeffrey. He pulls up on this young lady, Ashley, and he's like, you can't just be coming out here like that. And she's like, oh, so you're proud of yourself because you found me and everything. And he's like, girl, do you think that your father would be paying me this much if I would let a 12-year-old outsmart me. Like, I knew what the heck you was thinking when you first stepped out of bed, girl. Like, we're gonna have to watch her today. She's up to something.
He was 10 steps ahead of her, y'all.
Yes. I'm that's the vibe I'm starting to get from Jeffrey. Like, he
Like, you ready to come home?
mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing that I like,
it's time to go, I think he said to her.
yeah, the thing I like about this part is that he was saying, you know, it's as long as these people are not a threat, everything's gonna stay between us. It's okay, you know, but you really shouldn't be doing this, running off on your own, because there's some people out there that would love to, you know, basically try to get your dad for money. You know what I'm saying? Be, you know, run into some con artists and stuff like that. So you got to be careful.
And
so
then she talking to strangers on this game thing.
Yeah. So Big Kev says, I knew when she put on the lip balm and her friend wasn't there, she wasn't going to be into girls.
Okay.
What she was? Oh, she was going to be into girls. Yes. Right. I have to admit, this was an amazing cast. It really, really
I
was.
Agree.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
I like the cast that they picked for this.
Mm-hmm. So once again, we have Jazz, and after the argument, now Will goes back. He goes to the record store, and he's telling Jazz about the whole situation and how him and Carlton, they have to get along. And Jazz is telling him, look, so if you don't get along with your cousin, so now Trey is the one that got to pay for it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to continue to look at the bigger picture. And I love the fact that Jazz is not the regular Jazz. The change that they made for him was that he's smart, and he also serves as somebody who's kind of like an advisor for Will and tells him what the right thing to do is, you know?
Right.
I love that. You want to say anything about?
I like his character. I think I said it the last time we touched on him.
Yeah, I'm talking about him being like a thinker now, you know.
Oh yeah, he's a thinker, but you know,
and an advisor.
A more of a comic relief with Will before, but he's smart and he's on his toes with things.
Yeah, and
he didn't outsmart Jeffrey that first night though.
And he has dreams, and he talks about how he wants to keep the legacy going for, you know, his.
Yeah, that was his uncle's store.
Yeah, his uncle. So this makes Will go back, because he's like, oh my gosh, you know what, you're right. So he goes back and he says to Carlton, look, let's just do what we got to do. We both have a purpose. I really want Trey to come out here. And this is when Carlton says, you know what, you're a really good friend to him. And they're like, let's just get this done for the greater good. And after everything is all said and done, what the heck does Will do? He invites all the freaking people out to the skating rink or whatever. And it's supposed to be a private party. So did you want to say something about that?
Because we're going to get to the part. It's supposed to be a paid event where they're donating, and the donators get to have not one-on-one time, but they get to talk to him a little bit up close and personal and see his views and his campaign thing. So yeah, it was kind of messed up, but I was laughing. And then when they got home to strategize about it, and when Phil found out about it, they was like, well, he could be hit with any sorts of questions.
Yes.
So that was crazy. Well, when I was like, oh man, this could really go well.
Yeah. And I admire Will's intentions. And even though it's really a great idea, it's just when you're doing a campaign, you got to do things a certain kind of way, because like you said, they had the questions vetted, you know, they already know, they're prepared. You know what I'm saying? But now if you just let the public come in, you don't know what the heck they're going to ask.
You're going to get some kind of nut job.
Exactly. But then Viv continues to tell him, look, you have to be yourself, and you have to say the things that you really feel. You got to show these people your heart and who you really are, right? And so that really helps him, I believe, later on. So now, guys, we got Jeffrey coming in as Pretty Girl says, Jeffrey, aka the Fixer. I'm here for a Jeffrey spinoff already.
I know that's right.
Legacy, hi. He said this episode was crazy. So listen, Jeffrey is like Olivia Pope scandal. So he's like, listen, it sucks being a kid, so I took the liberty of inviting your friends, and here goes who? Lucia. She's so excited to see ya. And this is the smile. We got the nice little, cute little deep dimples for this young lady, Lucia. And so, in the comment when I did, I think the first recap, somebody said, I think shout out to Ray J Love. He said that he thinks that they're going to make Hillary a lesbian. I said, I'm not sure. They hadn't had anybody yet to represent the LGBTQ community, so I don't know. But here's who they chose, guys. They chose Ashley.
I think she's too young.
Yeah.
I feel like young.
You feel like she's too young? I think a lot of people feel like that. She's too young. And out of everybody that they chose, why did they choose Ashley? But you know what? The reality is that these kids are out here this young, and they are already knowing and coming out of the closet and stuff like that. So now Will goes into the bathroom and he sees the chief of police, and he realizes that he is Lisa's father, and he is pissed off. And I'm like, Will, why? Right? But I'm trying to look at it from his side. He's traumatized, so he doesn't really know how to process all of that. But it's like, it's not her fault. What you got to say, Moochie?
I feel like he's still suffering from PTSD because he had that little flashback with him getting rushed to the gate and rushed to the ground, and he just sees the cops as being aggressive.
Yeah.
But he's like, well, I didn't know you were police when he met him at the party initially.
Right.
So he's kind of taken aback, but I think he's like a community police officer. So I think he's gonna he has the wrong idea about him right now. Will has the wrong idea about her father. But I don't like the way he talked to her, like,
yeah, he was just like, you didn't tell me this and that. And the crazy thing is, the questions that he was saying was like, they were ridiculous. Like, you didn't tell me your father. Like, who goes around school talking about, hey, my mom's a lawyer, my dad's a doctor, yeah, my mom's a teacher, and my father's a custodian. Nobody freaking does that.
I know, right?
Nobody does that. I mean, you make it, every now and then that one kid that just wants to talk about every freaking thing, just, because they're weird. But nobody really does that. And she looked at him and she said that too, like, what? Like, what am I? You didn't tell me about what your father does,
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, because he's not worth talking about or whatever. But even if he was worth talking about, that's not what people normally do.
Especially, did you tell her that your mother's a nurse?
Right.
No.
Exactly. Like, that's something that you'll find out once you get in relationships and you talk more and more, and it doesn't even come up as if, say, hey, did you know my mom was a nurse? It just comes up in a natural kind of way. You know what I'm saying? It's not a plan as to say, I think I should tell her that my mom's a nurse. It was just crazy. He got an attitude. So now it's time for Phil to answer some questions, and they had some tough questions for him. All right, what do you got to say about this, Moochie?
I feel like he handled himself real well with the questions. And when they got to the question about defund the police, he looked over at the police chief, because that is a fellow colleague of his, and they're friends basically through their children. But I feel like he answered the question politically correct, if I should say, right? So I like that how he handled the situation, because those were the loaded questions that he was not prepared for.
Yes, it's like, it was satisfying to the people, and it was satisfying to the cop and whoever else, like you said, the political. It says pretty girl.
I'm not feeling her father. He gave me jerk vibes.
Yeah, I wasn't. In a way, I wasn't really sure.
It was the look he gave, like us.
Oh my
The
god.
girl in blue peed herself.
She peed on herself. I guess from the way
She
she's
did?
standing. It's probably from the way she's standing. You forgot the new Wilkes line from ATL where Will gave to Lisa. He said, "Don't let me snatch your chain." you know,
Uh-uh.
the thing is when he said that and she was saying that she's like new, I didn't see no kind of good skating vibe from her at all. No moves, no good skills. I said vibes. I didn't see no good skating skills from her at all. Looked like she was scared. Anyway, so he does good. And then now we get home and everybody's like, oh, it went so good. We should do that again. And we also have Will and Carlton. Like, let's just keep it like this. We made it through the day and the night. Everything went well. Let's not continue to, you know, just get at each other or just be against each other. And I think that this is a turning moment for them both where they are really going to start trying to get along. I think they might still bump heads a little bit because of that stupid Connor kid, but I believe that they are actually going to really try to work at getting along. What do you think?
I believe so too, and I hope he cut Connor loose soon because
Yeah.
he's gonna see when he's. I think when he sees Will and his friend, what is it, Trey?
Mm-hmm.
When he sees that relationship, I think he's gonna understand that Connor's really not that much of a friend to him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hopefully so. And then he knocks him out. Everybody knocks Connor out. That'd be great. So now Will, right here, he gets the great news that Trey is coming. Right? He's gonna be flown out. So I don't know if that means he's gonna be in next week's episode. I'm not sure. I haven't seen any one thing after the episodes I never see like
It's
trailers for the next one.
trailers.
So I don't know. We don't really know what to expect, but he is so excited and he's like, yo, you coming out here, boy. Look how excited Trey is. He
Yeah,
on
and he's
TV,
mad
like, yes.
excited about it.
And then he said, yo, I got some good news too. And Will was like, what? And then this is crazy. He said Rashad is dead. And that he got shot up in a strip club. Okay, guys. I didn't know how to feel about this, but go ahead, Moochie.
You didn't know? Okay, so look, first of all, the way it was done, if it was orchestrated by Jeffrey's associates,
It was.
it doesn't look. It looks like he was a street dude, and it was just some street stuff that happened.
This is Jeffrey, though. He's smart as well. Reach out to the
Yeah,
associates.
get at him and put some hot ones in him and lay him down.
Oh my gosh. So
Yeah, get
I'm
at him,
like,
put some
yo.
hot ones in him and lay him down.
And when he said that, I was like, oh shoot. And
Oh,
it's
that's when I was
crazy.
like, oh shoot, this is my OS moment.
Yeah, and I said, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy." Because look, like I said, I didn't know how to feel about this because I'm happy, first of all, that we don't have to deal with this Rashad situation anymore.
I agree.
But I didn't really. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. You know how you always say, "I don't be wanting people to die." It was kind of like that. Like I wish that he would have just fell back. But it's like you asked for this, bro. You don't know who you dealing with. You are a local dude. This situation right here, it's looking a little international to me. So you should have fell back. You should have took them 10 G. You should have took them 10 G's and left well enough alone. There was no reason for you to try to come at Will. No reason for you to try to extort any more money. You wasn't in danger of going to jail or nothing. This kid is out of your hair.
Yup.
So he caused it on himself. So
they all got let go to me. He got let go a little later because they all got let go from this situation. He just got picked up for fighting. Mm-hmm. So they don't even he didn't have a gun on him.
Right. And he had no opportunity to snitch on him. So for him to think that he snitched, it's so stupid. Like, he was there with you the whole time. He's right across from you. There's no way for him to snitch. So it was just dumb. And snitch on what? I mean, what? Say that you're a D-boy? I don't know. So thank you, pretty girl, for the super chat. I appreciate you.
I did peep that he was always smoking weed, but he was the one that put the gun into play too.
Okay, so did y'all peep that Trey is always smoking weed? I have a prediction. he or they will get caught with weed and the parents will send him back to Philly. I don't think he's not coming there to stay, right? He's just coming to visit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean that sounds like that is something that could happen, that he gets caught or whatever. But I don't know. The weed thing is kind of it's legal, especially out there in California. But so maybe they weren't really. I don't know. Somebody has to be looking through Trey's bag or something, or and does Phil smoke weed? I don't think he. I said Phil. Does Will smoke? I don't think he does. Do you think he does?
No, I don't think so, because he was
Yeah,
like
because he was
drug
like, why
testing.
would I do that? Yeah, he said I'm an athlete, I play ball, whatever. Why would I do that? So yeah, we'll see what happens. Something is probably gonna happen that is gonna make Trey get sent back. Somebody said my gut feeling. Patty said my gut feeling is something's gonna happen to Trey. I hope not. Yes, me too. I hope not. And I think that if something was going to happen to him, it probably would have already, and he probably wouldn't have survived that shot. That's what I think. I think it would. I just don't think it ever makes sense to have somebody survive something and then just for them to get killed again. I don't know. Hey, ladies. Hey, Inga. It says, "Hey, ladies. I did not know you guys were live tonight. I just happened to open up YouTube and see that you ladies were live. Hello. Oh, thank
I
you for
sent it to your
joining."
Instagram. I DM'd you.
Moochie has been on doing her DMs. Okay, so Patty says all this because Rashad friend couldn't take the L, right, of losing the
Mm-hmm.
game and tried to hit Will with the ball and hit Rashad instead,
And
spilled over
walked
Dunkage,
away.
and then walked away.
It's
That's
like
the
he threw
part.
a match on the fire and walked off.
Yes, that's the part that pissed me off. And it would be nice if
He should have got
the
his ass
fixer,
whooped.
exactly. It would be nice if the fixer knew his full name. Okay. So, is the original Trey played by Don Cheadle visited as well and got sent back? Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So, you know, we'll see what happens. I'm excited to know, see what we're doing. Inga says, "Oh girl, I've been watching Snowfall. I didn't even go on Instagram today." So she's telling you that she didn't go on
Oh, okay. She's
Instagram.
trying to
She's
catch up.
trying to
All right.
catch
All
up.
right.
Yeah, good.
Look,
Catching
catch
up on
up,
things.
because Wednesday is gonna be on with Snowfall, y'all.
Yes,
And if y'all didn't
Snowfall.
check out my little preview of the trailer, please go check it out.
Yes, check it out,
Yeah.
guys. I'm telling you, she went in, all right, and it makes it so interesting. Like the way Moochie did this thing, y'all gonna be excited. That's how I got when I was listening to it. I was like, oh, I'm excited for this. Let's get it. Let's get
Yes, that's
ready
how
to
I am.
get these.
I'm excited for it.
Yes, let's get ready to do these reviews. Let's get ready to watch the show and see what the heck is going on. So listen, she picked that thing apart, guys. So go ahead and get yourself excited as well and watch that trailer. So you
Yeah.
should probably go ahead and put the thing in your community tab, like the little like the link, even though they
Okay.
can go to your channel, but just put it on the community tab also.
Thank you. I
So
didn't
they
know
could
I could
just,
do
yeah.
that.
You just click on it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We got 19 people in the building. How many likes do we have? I know it
I
dropped
don't
off
even know.
after we started talking about Bel-Air, it dropped off by I think like half or whatever, or maybe, and that's okay. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. I know I got one new subscriber. Thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you everybody for coming through. Thank you, Inga, Pretty Girl, Patty, Eric Iverson, Montana Max, Jania. I'm trying to see Nita the Diva. Love
And
you, girl. Big Kev, Tamika's Den. Who else? Little Rock, Brillo, the Big Review. Hey, what up, though? Lions Den, thank you so much. Eric S, LSW. Thank you guys all for being here. And you guys have a blessed night. Karen Jones as well. And Damian Robinson. All of y'all, blessings, blessings, blessings. And we'll see you. Make sure you have that notification on so you know when we go live. And because like I said, right now we're not really on a schedule. I'm trying to get there, guys. All this stuff is kind of gets overwhelming, but I really appreciate you guys showing up when you can. All right, you guys have a blessed week. Look forward to my recap of Force and of episode 4 for Bel-Air. I still got to get into that whole thing anyway alone. What about you, Moochie? Do you have something as well for them?
yeah, I got a little theory coming, and I have my video for Force, and that's pretty much it. I got a theory video coming in there, and I'm trying to figure if I'm gonna do Bel-Air because everything's coming so fast.
Mm-hmm.
So being that we talked about it tonight, I don't know. I might.
Right. All
I
right,
might just
guys.
do my 7 key parts of what I liked.
Yeah.
Anywho,
All
sorry.
right. Stay tuned and turn on your notification bell for Moochie as well, and subscribe to her channel if you haven't. And I will put that link in the description box as well. All right, guys. Take care and be blessed and have a blessed night.
Yeah,
Bye
later.
bye.
Bye, Karen.